ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. Om. Today we will be starting with Mandalam 6 of the Bharadwajas. Ashtakam 4, Chapter 4. Om. Suktam 1. Rishi Bharadwaja Bharhaspatya Devata Agni Chandastrushtu. This mandala starts off with a sukta from sage Bharadwaja on Agni as per the usual practice followed in Rigveda. Vam Hyagni Prathamo Manodasya 6.1.1. O spiritual Agni, you are the first and foremost among the self-luminous bodies and are the mind behind all sacrifices. You are the destroyer of miseries whose intellect becomes acceptor of sacrificial oblations. O shower of happiness, you only bestow upon all inviolable strength to overcome all evil forces. Some well-known attributes of Agni are spelt out in this Ruk, indicating the fact that the sukta is to deal with Agni or various aspects of energy. He is to be considered as personified energy or soul of energy. Atha hota nyasido yajiyan 6.1.2. At present, this acceptor of sacrificial oblations and performer of sacrifice is seated in a high place on the earth, invoked by men and conveying happiness to all. O Agni, leaders of men, desiring the welfare of all, follow you, who is the first and foremost and is enlightening others for the achievement of great wealth. Agni is being given an honorable seat in an altar or in the mind of sacrificers. They are ready to honor him or talk about Agni or energy personified. Great wealth implies Atmajnana. 6.1.3. Vrute vayantam bahubhir vasavyai. Ever alert, enlightened persons with much wealth follow Agni, who goes with many objects as though it is as per the commands of the Creator, who could be manifested self. He is the destroyer of miseries. He is radiant and mighty. He is enveloped by Om. He is blazing, illuminating everything all day and night. Agni or soul of energy manifests as one of the 5 forms of matter because of ignorance of the self. Energy is present in many manifested material forms and is enveloped by the manifested and unmanifested self or Om. 6.1.4. Padam devasya namasa vyanta. Going to the kingdom of the most shining one with a weapon powerful like a thunderbolt, seekers of knowledge attain that unhurtable knowledge. O Agni, they delight in your auspicious delight and uphold the sacred names of that radiant one. Seekers of self-knowledge, armed with spiritual knowledge, which is similar to thunderbolt, attain that birthless state. Meditating on Agni as a manifestation of the self, they call it by different names, though it is really beyond words. Most shining one, implies the self. Tvam vardhanti kshidaya prithivyam. O Agni, you make all living beings, moving as well as stationary, existing on the earth, grow. You are to be known for getting over difficulties. Pervading all objects, you become the preserver of mankind and a protector like the father and nourisher like the mother. Energy or soul of Agni is necessary for the growth of living forms. By supplying energy, Agni, perhaps Vaishwanara, sustains all living creatures. 6.1.6 Saparyenya Sapriyo Vikshva. That soul of Agni is worthy of service or application. He is dear, he is accepted of oblations of sacrificers and is charming. He is established in the altar among the sacrificers. O Agni, we praise you with bended or knelt knees, you who is shining brightly in our homes. Superficial meaning of the Rik needs no elaboration. Spiritual meaning of the Rik can be derived easily by considering Agni as the soul of energy. Altar could be physical or inside the mind of sacrificers. Tam tva vayam sudhyo. 6.1.7 O spiritual Agni, longing for happiness and endowed with pure intellects, we invoke you, who is ever new and is desiring the welfare of all. O Agni, like the refulgent sun, with his exalted splendor, leads all in their day-to-day activities, resplendent you also lead all human beings. The sun is behind all activities in the solar world. He supplies all the energy necessary externally. Agni, Jఠragni, drives living creatures from within their bodies. Men make use of external Agni also. Visham Kavim Vishpadim Shashwadinam 6.1.8 For wealth we invoke soul of Agni, who is the Lord of all eternal souls, is the Lord of all homes, is omniscient, is the destroyer of all evils, is very mighty, is conveyor of riches to men leading to happiness. He is a purifier, is shining and is worthy of admiration. In reality, there are no souls or jivatmas different from Paramatma, which is eternal. Agni, the soul of energy, is present in all homes in one form or the other. Agni is present in the bodies of all living creatures, including imaginary shining beings. Rest of the Rik is self-explanatory. So, so Agna Ije Shashame Chamarto 6.1.9. O shining Agni, whoever kindles you with fuel and offer of oblations, and who knows well nature of oblations, that mortal is serving you with food and praising you. Being protected by you, he upholds all kinds of admirable wealth. Here fuel, oblations, etc. can be gross or subtle depending on the type of sacrifice. Correspondingly, wealth that one upholds will also differ. With this clarification, meaning of the ruk should become clear whether it is superficial or implied. Asma ute mahimahe vidhema 6.1.10. O son of a mighty father Agni, men serve you who is great excellently by kindling you in the altar with fuel and with offering of food and other oblations in the form of admirable words of praise and so on. May we always endeavor to be in your auspicious and noble favor. Comments on the previous ruk is applicable to this ruk also. Mighty Father may mean the self, since it is only the base of all creations. Atma is the base for all creations. All births are unreal or imaginary. 6.1.11. Yes, tatantha rodasi vibhasa. O soul of energy, by your splendor you pervade the space and earth. Endowed with knowledge, you take men across miseries with knowledge earned by hearing. Please continue to shine upon us with great, most venerable riches and vigor. Energy pervades the space, atmosphere and the earth. Meditating on the cause of manifestation of energy, Agni, one can realize the miseryless Brahman. Nrava dvaso sadamit te hyasme bhuri. O shining Agni, beneficent leader, beneficent like a leader of men, you vouchsafe us ever abundant wealth of cattle for our sons and grandsons, and food which are noble and far from sins or evils. May we have auspicious articles and good renown. The ruk is a simple prayer, easily understandable as it is. 6.1.13, last ruk in this sukta. Purunyatne purudha tvaya vasuni. O Atmiya Agni, you are shining well on account of light or knowledge. May you obtain much wealth and many things in many places with your love and grace. O Agni, invoked by men, invoked by many, you uphold many articles in your shining form for giving to invokers. Simple and implied meanings of the ruk can be derived without much difficulty. We go to Mandalam 6, Ashtakam 4, Chapter 5, Suktam 2. Rishi Bharadwaja Bharhaspatya Devada Agni Chandas Anushtup Shakvari Tvam hi Kshaidavad Yasho Agni 6.2.1. O soul of Agni, you only alight on us who are earthly beings, like a friend endowed with good fame and reputation. You make fame increase like prosperity. Agni, external or within the stomach, approaches human beings like a friend. Energy drives men to action, prosperity and fame. 6.2.2. Tvam hi shma charshanayo. O spiritual Agni, men verily praise you only with sacrifices, oblations, and with words of praise. One who is not a thief, who multiplies virtues and happiness, who is a perceiver of all men, and who is a fast mover, enters you. The one mentioned in the Rig could be the self or moving, witnessing self or Atmiya Soma, since qualities attributed to that one are applicable to both. Sajoshastva divo naro. 6.2.3. O Atmi Agni, leaders of men shining with knowledge, illumine you, who is the symbol of sacrifice. A common man desiring happiness invoke you in a non-violent sacrifice. Leaders of men meditate on soul of Agni to gain self-knowledge. Common men make use of fire for worldly purposes and for sacrifices. 6.2.4. Ridhatyaste Sudanavedhiya. O soul of Agni, the mortal who is a liberal donor and actively worships you with his intellect, he prospers. Under the protection of the great resplendent you, he overcomes his internal foes, namely anger and sense. First category of persons mentioned in the previous Rig is being talked about in this Rig. They attain the self by overcoming their ignorance-created foes. Samidha yasta ahutim nishitim. O shining Agni, the mortal who lights you with fuel and obtains your sharp oblation, he grows harmoniously, having obtained a good house containing good articles, and lives for 100 years. Common sacrificers are dealt with in this Rig. Sharp oblation could be grass or subtle soma. Tveshate Thumarunvadi de divi. O purifier, Agni the fire, your bright pure smoke rises in the sky and proceeds upwards. You shine like the sun with your radiant glow and grace. The same energy is there in the fire as well as in the sun. 6.2.7. Adhahi Vikshvidyo Asi Priyo. O shining Agni, you are praiseworthy among the people and dear to us. You are our old and honored guest and are beautiful like a charming city. You are innocent like a son going to his guardian. Some of the well-known qualities of Agni are spelled out in this Rig. 6.2.8. Kratva hi drone ajyase gne. O spiritual Agni, discharging your duties by your intellect, you propel yourself in the right path, like a rapid moving horse. Like wind moving everywhere, you give food and home to human beings. Even as an infant, you move about hither and thither like a horse. Agni, the soul of energy, is the source of food for all. Fire is kindled in all homes, in the kitchen and in a few homes, Agni is kindled as sacrificial fire. Agni, the fire, is a quick mover. Tvam tya chidachyudagne 6.2.9. Oh, free from old age, Agni, you attain imperishable splendor like a cow eating grass. The power of the most radiant you rend asunder trees in the forest. Agni energy can neither be created nor destroyed, or is imperishable. The mild form of Agni is like a cow grazing in the fields. Agni's wild form is forest fire. Veshi Yadvariyatamagne Hota 6.2.10. O protector of people, soul of Agni, you are active as acceptor of sacrificial oblations in the home of persons who are performers of non-violent sacrifices. Please make them prosperous. You are dear like pranas. Please accept this oblation. Please accept this hymn, is the request contained in the Ruk. Achano mitramaho deva devangne. O adorable resplendent Agni, please tell about your good intellects to all enlightened beings who are present between the space and earth properly, so that leaders of men desiring the welfare of all may dwell well and enjoy prosperity. May we overcome our internal foes and sins caused by them, since they cause us miseries. May we overcome them through your protection. No comment is necessary on this last Ruk. We go to next Suttam 3, again on Agni, again from sage Bharadwaja, Chandas is Truttu. Agni sa kshe sadrudapa ruteja uru. Agni sa kshe sadrudapa ruteja. O resplendent Agni, along with Mitra and Varuna, you are born from Ruta, nature and its laws, and also are protectors of these laws. Serving equally whichever mortal you protect from sins by sacrifices, he attains your light, which appears in the space, atmosphere and the earth, and he dwells in peace. Agni, Mitra and Varuna are imaginary entities who are being considered as responsible for certain observed phenomena of nature. A man who is prepared to make sacrifices or strives hard can get to know the soul of Agni and his qualities. Ije yetnebhi shashame shamibhi. 3.2. Approaching Agni, whoever abounding in wealth offers active worship by sacrifices in the form of noble deeds or oblations. Lack of wealth, food, and good reputation do not come near such a mortal man, nor do the sins, nor the great delusion of ignorance. Only by sacrifices or hard labor one can achieve anything useful such as wealth, food, knowledge, etc. This message is contained in the Ruk 6.3.3. Suro nayasya dashatirareva. Suro nayasya dashatirareva Bhima. O Atmiyagni, your sight is as sinless as that of the sun. Your intellect, glowing like flames, goes about terrifying the wicked. Rays of this reputed Agni, making sound, dispel darkness of ignorance, like the sun dispelling darkness. Bunch of rays of physical Agni dwelling in the darkness of the nights brings delights somewhere or other. Physical Agni, Agni's light is pure and purifying. Fire makes sound while burning. Its light dispels darkness of the night and gives delight to people. 6.3.4. Tigmam chideyamam ahivarpo asya. His path is hot. His form greatly illuminates everything around him. With his mouth like a controlled neighing horse, with his tongue eating up the wood like an axe cutting it. He melts objects which cannot be eaten by him, like the sap of the palate. Different characteristics of Agni, the fire, are identified in this Ruk. They may not need any additional explanations. Sa idasteva pradi dhada seshyan. Throwing out his flames like a free-flying arrow from an archer, Agni sharpens his splendor like a smith sharpening a weapon such as an axe. He is endowed with wonderful movement in the dullness or darkness of the night, like a light-winged bird sitting on a tree flies in the sky. Description of fire continues in this Ruk also. Movement of flames of fire is definitely beautiful, especially in the darkness of the night. Sa imrebho na prativasta pusra. That 6.3.6. Ye Agni, endowed with reddish splendor, approaches leaders of men during night and in the daytime. He who is immortal and endowed with reddish splendor approaches leaders of men with good desire and love. That Agni, like the venerable illuminator the sun, covers his rays with radiance. Honoring his friends, he makes noise or preaches. A burning fire always makes noise. This is true even in the case of Jఠragni, which activates a human creature. No more clarification may be necessary on this Ruk. 6.3.7. Divo nayasya vidhato navino Agni, the fire, whose light is like that of the sun, is much admired by all. He is mighty and full of splendor and excels among plants. With his spiritual radiance, he moves between the space and the earth, which are well protected by the Creator. With his moving flame-like wealth, he overcomes his adversaries. This is again another description of fire which should not be difficult to comprehend. Last look in the Sukta 6.3.8. Dhayo bhirva yo yujebhir. By his upholding or harnessable radiance, Agni shines like lightning, which is shining by its own strength. Using the strength of the Marus or learned scholars, Agni glows well, being resplendent and quick-moving like a skillful artist. Wind augments a burning fire. No further explanation may be needed on this record. We go to Suktam 4. Same Devata, same Rishi, Chandas Trushtu. Yatha Hotar Manusho Devatata. O acceptor of oblation, son of a mighty father, soul Agni, like in the divine creation of mankind with requisite tools and implements, may you be united with us today in the same way. We are desirous of doing good to others and are equally learned and agreeable. Mighty Father, the Creator, Purusha, or Atmiya Bhavamana Sauma, gave birth to soul of Agni, or personified energy. The same Father created mankind in his divine sacrifice. Seer of the Sukta and his friends are requesting Agni to treat them as his sons. This creation is described in Purusha Sukta in 10.90. Sano Vibhava Chakranirna Vasto. That spiritual Agni, who is illuminator of the day like the sun, is polite to us. He is worthy of being known by all. He abhors all kinds of food articles. He is immortal among all mortals. He appears among men at dawn like an honored guest and is a knower of all born beings. Some qualities attributed to Agni are listed in this book. As these have been elaborated earlier, these are not discussed here. 6.4.3 Dhyavonayasya Panayandyabhvam, whose grand glory is sung by men who are like enlightened souls. That soul of Agni covers himself with pure spiritual light rays like the sun with his rays. He is undecaying, pure and purifier. He pervades all and destroys all objects, even if they are made of stone. Agni pervades all living bodies as Vaishwanaragni and Jఠaragni. Agni is undecaying, or energy can be neither created nor destroyed. All types of matter are disintegrated by Agni, either burnt, melted, evaporated, and so on. Vadma hisuno asyad masadva. O Creator of the universe, Agni Atma, you are utterer of true words, pervading all objects by your very nature. You provide dwelling and food for all. Like a king, may you give us strength in the acts requiring strength. Please remain in the heart of a man who is not a thief and enable us to conquer all evil thoughts. The first part is a characteristic imagined on personified energy. Fire provides well-cooked food and a place for performing sacrifices or for cooking food. Jఠragni supplies all energy for all activities of a human being. With these clarifications, meaning of the Rig should become clear. Nitiktiyo. That fire Agni eats well-cooked food quickly. Like the Creator going to air, he enters all manifested objects. Under his commands, we shall win over non-sacrificers. Like horses, he punishes crooked people who attack us. Agni consumes quickly the fuel supplied. Creator Purusha or Atmiya Sama pervades five manifested forms of matter and objects made of these forms. Agni Atma enters living bodies along with the Self and Jivatma. Purifying aspect of Agni is brought about by the last part of the Rig. Asuryo na bhanuma. Light from, O spiritual Agni, like the wonderful sun with his refulgent rays, you overspread the space and earth with your spiritual radiance. Going on the path of righteousness like the son of a person who desires the welfare of all. This Agni, manifesting with his wonderful splendor, dispels all darkness or ignorance. Light from fire illuminates physical object. Spiritual light of Agni, the soul of energy, drives away darkness of ignorance. 6.4.7 Tvam hi mandratama. O Atmiya Agni, we honor you who is the giver of delight with the most excellent respectful praises. Please listen to this great hymn. Like the Self or Creator, by his might gladdens Indra and Vayu. The most manly in workers gladden you with their wealth of knowledge. Indra and Vayu stand for Jivatma, manifested self and pranas. The manifested self gladdens them by giving them imaginary existence. Similarly, the wise sages gladden Agni Atma by giving him imaginary existence by making use of their wisdom. They conceive of the link between Agni Atma and the Self. Last stroke in the Sukta, 6.4.8. Nuno Agne Avrgebhiswasti. O spiritual Agni, please lead us to that wealth which leads to prosperity by righteous paths, which are followed by honest men and not by thieves. May you remove all our sins. Bestow upon the learned scholars who are your invokers that happiness, so that we, being good heroes, delight for 100 years. The wealth could imply self-knowledge, and happiness means bliss associated with birthless Brahman. No further explanation may be necessary on the slok. With this, we conclude today's session. Viramastavat.